'cause life be lifing. Nah, for real.
She's back. Hey y'all, and welcome to a hell of a podcast. I am your host, Kenya, and today we're gonna talk about a hell of a lot of shit. All right, but before we get into it, y'all, I wanted to give y'all a kind of like a little update on where I've been, because I know I dropped the video with my mama, and I'm like, okay, I came out with the podcast, y'all. Tune in for more episodes, and then I just went away. Okay, so let me just tell y'all what's been going on. I've been rebranding. The podcast is definitely still called A Hell of a Podcast, and we are most definitely still going to talk about a hell of a lot of shit. But I started thinking to myself, when it comes to podcasts, and think about it, like when y'all go listen to podcasts, y'all listen to specific podcasts based on what you want to hear. So if I want to learn about financial literacy, I'm going to go look up a financial literacy podcast, right? So I thought like, okay, well, what's going to be my niche, whatever it's called. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I had to figure out what my niche is going to be. I didn't want to basically put a whole lot into one podcast, right? So this is going to be more so of the laid back adult type explicit podcast where we just chill, we talk shit, we still promote positivity, do all that, but I wanted to separate that from, having kids on. I know y'all mentioned like, oh, I'm really big on allowing kids to express their emotions. I want to bring them on, but y'all don't want to be watching a podcast where we might be in here talking about sucking dick or something. And then you come around in the next podcast, you got the kids on. So I'm like, hold on, we gotta separate that up. And then maybe it's a podcast an episode where we chilling, we talking, we laughing, and then the next episode, don't get me wrong, we still probably gonna cry. I know I am. I'm an emotional person. But the testimony part of the podcast, I've kind of moved that out as well. So with all that being said, y'all, I know I got a lot going on, but this, as I mentioned, will be the more adult type podcast where we just chill, talk about relationships, parenting, whatever it is, mental, it doesn't matter, whatever. But this is, again, more so for the adults. I have actually separated it and created another podcast, y'all. Follow me, okay? Just follow me. I know y'all like, girl, you can't even keep up with that first one. Mind your business. The second podcast, y'all, is going to be specific to testimonies. This is where everyone has, an open space to tell their testimony, whether that's a lesson that turned into a blessing that turned into a lesson, or maybe it was both of them. It don't matter. Whether your testimony is short, long, big, smile, it don't matter. That's the open space specifically for that. It's going to be called the TWK podcast, which is Testimonies with Kenya. So y'all got to make sure y'all follow me on those. Period. Okay. It's all in the works. Right now, we're going to work with the hell of a podcast and, pour into that. And I'm going to be working on the other ones. But just keep that in mind. So when I tell y'all to go follow me on them other ones, I need y'all support, all right? Yeah, make sure y'all do that. And in more good news, y'all, a hell of a podcast is on Apple freaking Podcasts. So by the time y'all see this episode, y'all will not only be able to watch it on YouTube, but shoot, if you exercising and you ain't got time to watch the video, you can go on Apple Podcasts and just plug your headphones in and listen to it there. You know what I'm saying? So your girl been working. You hear me? Your girl been working. All right, so enough about that, y'all. I'm gonna, as y'all can see, got a couple guests with me today. I told y'all I probably ain't gonna be on here by myself now, because when I talk, I can't stop. So, gotta find a little balance and allow some, other people to come on. So I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, and then we gonna get into talking about a hell of a lot of shit.
Okay, I'll say, hey y'all, I'm Big Sis, Kanisha. How y'all doing out there?
Hey, I am Angel. I'm like the older sister, friend, all that underneath all that.
Yeah, and yeah, like I love these women's. Okay, I am the youngest. Okay, but I got an old toe. I feel
Definitely
right on
do.
in. You hear me?
Yes.
I feel right on in. We be really just so y'all know, we all single parents. We all have one son. Our sons are all on the same football team. And yeah, we just developed a relationship through there. Well, of course, me and Kanisha knew each other prior to. And then we came on to Oak Cliff Titans and we met Miss Angel.
Yes.
Period. The life of the party. Mm-hmm. But yeah, y'all. So today we gonna be talking about a couple things. But before we really like before we dive into our topic,
Okay.
I had to back door a little bit. So shout out to All Around Media. If y'all seen their podcast, me and Miss Georgia Peach, shout out to her, Tay and Santana for bringing us on. There was a portion of the podcast where we started talking about 50-50, right? So my good sisters had ended up seeing a little snippet of it, right? So when I had made it to practice, I was like, did y'all see the podcast? Like, what y'all think? Because a lot of people had got it misconstrued. So before I let them say what they gotta say, let me just
Clarify
let
some
me
things,
clarify.
please, sis.
Clear
Thank
it up.
you.
Clear
Okay.
them.
Okay. While I was saying on the podcast, like, hey, it could be 70-30 this time if you I got it this time. But that don't mean this is where I want to clarify, y'all. Hold on, let me make sure my micing so y'all can hear me, okay?
Brokies, no. Say it one more time. Brokies, no. Okay.
That don't mean I'm extending grace to a man that ain't got nothing going for himself.
Come on.
I just want to clarify that, okay? I'm all for holding a man down if something along the way happened, but you gotta come with me. You gotta come to me with something going for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you gotta be the richest. I would prefer to have a lawyer or a doctor. No, I would prefer. Who wouldn't? It's very ideal to to have a man that comes in and is a provider. You know what I'm saying? Takes care of the bills and do all of that. Like, who doesn't want that? I'm not saying I don't want that, but I also just wanted to clarify. I'm not saying that I'm just taking a man from the streets and building him up. We're not doing that one.
Mm-mm.
So I just had to clarify that. But y'all already know how I feel about 50-50, 70-30, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and let
Who go first? Me?
Hold
I
on.
go first. I got in. I don't agree with 50-50. Guys, that is not my forte. I feel like a man should provide the most in the relationship at the beginning. Now, of course, they brought to my light, my good sisters brought to my light that it is almost 50-50 because if the man is taking care of the bills and you're doing the other things like the kid and providing the essentials of the house, it's almost a 50-50 thing. But if we're going to break it down, I'm saying bills that the man should have 90% of that coming out of his pocket.
So you're like a 90-10.
I'm like a 90-10. I do a
80-20.
I do a light bill here and there.
Before that conversation, baby, she was just like,
no,
he should have had that out. We like, well, dang, what if something happened to him? He should have had that figured out.
A savings, a 401k. Come on. But I feel like that is because I know us as ladies, we're bringing that. We're bringing a 401k. We're bringing savings. We're bringing stability. So why can't the man be bringing that as well? Plus more. Yeah. Because as a woman, we're already givers. You know what I'm saying? We already give a lot. We give like we're gonna take care of that household for them. They're not gonna be 24/7 cleaning dishes, washing clothes, running after kids. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna be working, coming home, asking for a meal, asking for some peace. So give us that peace where we don't have to stress over bills. That's how I look at it.
That is a great point. That's a good point, yeah. But you can still do that 50-50.
How?
He can, depending on what if he doesn't make enough to go 50-50. And I'm not saying like he just makes what. Let's just say you making 6 figures and he in the 5s. They'll make you the breadwinner, and I mean high fives. That will make you still the breadwinner in the household, but he still takes care of the mortgage and does all those things and for whatever he can do, whatever he's financially able to do. Like what's wrong with?
Because I'm not to.
It's a no.
It's a no for me. I'm not dating nobody.
I hear what you're saying, but it's still a no for me.
Well, let me back it up. I prefer not to date somebody that makes less than me.
I agree.
I feel like I like equal in pay. You may not make more, but equal, or it can't be too much lower. It has to be like $1 off. Hourly or something, but we can't be.
But what if he still does make less than you, but can still maintain the household?
How though? But also, I feel like
what if he saves really, really good? Like there are people out here who are great savers because all they are used to doing is paying bills. True. So what if you have a man who can come home, makes less than you, but can still come home and provide you the lifestyle that you want on top of whatever you want to have, because you still got all your money.
Yeah.
Like,
I can get with that, but they have to maintain a certain. I think it's also based off. I think people forget that it's categories of this. It's also based off of, like you just said, lifestyle. You made a great point. Lifestyle. What do you see your lifestyle in the future that you have? Some people are okay with not traveling. Some people are okay with just being within their city and not doing different things, or the I don't want to call it just out to eat here and there stuff. It depends on the lifestyle that you want to have for the type of man that you want to have, to me. So when you say that, yeah, he can make less, be a good provider, but I also know my goals is to travel with the family. Is he going to be able to provide that, or are we going to be able to provide that for each other? So it does take an accountability what you make with that, because we both can make a fair amount to take care of the household, but what can we do outside the household? Because it ain't just about the household for me. So
I agree.
yeah,
I agree. And I think that a lot of that, because Kenya 10 years ago, I gave so much grace to broke niggas.
me too.
So I think that it comes with growth too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have probably even minded a man coming in not having nothing, and just as long as we in love. You know what I'm saying? But we older now. Like, you gotta come with some type of substance. I'm just saying, like,
of potential, seeing
Yeah.
potential. Those
Yes.
days are over.
Yes.
We are not good judge of character.
Clearly.
The people that I saw potential in had none. So knowing what I know now, I don't want to date a man that has potential. I'm sorry. I'm out of my potential stage. I'm in a stage where it's time for me to kind of focus on me. I would rather meet a man in that same stage where he's focusing on himself and can tell me, right now, I don't want to be in a relationship, but I like to get to know you. Like, I would rather a man like that than for somebody to kind of come in and just love bomb me with BS. So now it's like, and typically I'm always love bomb with BS. Because I'm like, oh, this is him. I'm using his issues and all that, and thinking, because I overcame my issues, he will eventually too. But I'm past that.
Yeah.
I'm so past
And I guess
that.
that's why my standpoint is what it is. I've been there. I've been with the ones that can't provide, or having a hard time, or it's all about love, and we not in our 20s no more. A lot of love don't got nothing to do with stability. I mean, you can love a person to death, but a lot of people break up, or relationships, or divorces, is because finances is not in order. And I guess that's why it's a big thing for me, because love is just not enough in marriage. And my parents been married, because I see them, they been married over 35 years. And my mama and daddy would tell you, it ain't about just love. And so you have to look at all those aspects as well, and what you're willing to deal with and take, and what you want out of it. And I've been there in my 20s where I've had somebody that can't provide consistently like I need them to. That's why I want something consistent. And to me, consistency comes from seeing a man and how they provide for you, because they can continually do it. That's it. So I can't do no 50-50.
What if you fall in love with a man who say, I can't?
I can't what?
I won't be with you if we can't split these bills 50-50.
Then I won't be with you.
But you like fall in love with him.
I'm not following. First off, we finna have to get some stuff clear before the love.
That's what I'm. So when does that conversation even come up? When does the finance conversation come up? Are you meeting him like, hey, how you doing? How much money you make?
I'm not asking nobody off top how much money.
Yeah, not
I
off
would
top.
be offended if you asked me off top, because what they have to do with you getting to know me.
Yeah.
Me getting to know you is one thing. If I'm starting to get to know you and I actually like you,
you can see it going somewhere. Yeah.
Maybe we can start to have those types of conversations. But prior to that, I really don't give a damn. Don't ask me. Don't tell me. If you can take me out to eat, I'm fine with that. I don't even care where you sleep at night. But, over time,
if you see yourself like, oh, I can see myself potentially building with this, for now we got to have these.
Let's be real. As you're dating or talking to somebody, you're already kind of off the conversation and things they may talk about. You're already getting to see what they look like, far as personality wise, far as financially wise, far as where they work at. Your casual conversation, it comes up, to be honest. To me, if you're having casual conversation, getting to know somebody, it kind of lead ways into that. And then once you get comfortable enough, you might can ask what that figure is. But if they have a certain job, you kind of already can just imagine what that figure is. But to me, that just comes in casual conversation, getting to know somebody. Just like they'll get to know me if I'm like calling me and I'm at work and I'm telling them this is the type of job I have. In their head, they already putting together probably what it is and how much maybe I make or whatever the case may be. But I feel like that type of stuff just comes in casual conversation. It's not just I'm just gonna ask you how much you make, what you do, whatever. It just comes.
Some people like that though.
I mean, yeah, some people like that. Yeah,
but yeah, it's important to know at a certain when you reach that certain stage.
Yeah,
I walked into situations blind, not knowing. I know what I make, and I'm comfortable with what I make. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, if he can take care of himself, then together we good. Yeah, I can take care of myself. But on the flip side, I feel like people aren't really honest about those things. So if you can't be honest about how much money you make, whether you make $13,000 a year or $130,000 a year, you should still be open about it. Yeah. But I also feel like just because you make a lot of money don't necessarily mean that you know how to manage that money. You could be
that's the second part of that conversation.
You could be in very deep debt. So it don't matter. Go with $130 could be going to the IRS
every
year and we down to zero.
You really broke. You really
so are you pretty much saying that you want somebody that's more manageable with their money than financial security? Well, I mean that is financial security, but you rather it doesn't matter the amount as long as you can manage it correctly.
I would prefer a guy that's frugal. Only because I'm not. So I don't want. I want to be free to spend my money and still know that we're good. Opposed to having to meet a man who spends just like me. We'll probably be all over the place financially.
Yeah.
So true. I don't mind a man who just is really into numbers and savings and investments and things like that. I would prefer a guy like
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What you prefer?
I'm the same way.
Okay.
I'm the same way. My main thing is, like, I really would prefer someone that's already established.
Okay.
In a sense, or working towards something. Like you got something going on for yourself.
Get you a man that could put you on. Like I like them kind of men that teach you, the one that can really
teach you something. Yeah.
You know, that kind of it's to the point where you like, I want to be like my man. I want to get to his status.
Yeah.
You know, his whatever drives him. I want a man like that that's so driven to the point that I'm like, I got to keep up.
Yeah. True. I love that too.
And I guess that's where it comes with me with the financial thing. I feel like that's the type of man that I'm talking about that is exuding that. You get what I'm saying? Like a man that's already kind of, I'm not saying there, but has goals and aspirations, and it's kind of there because we bringing that. So put me in a higher space with it and how we gonna move in the future. That's all.
Be an asset, not a liability.
There you go.
For sure.
There you go.
That's what it is. That's what it is for sure.
But don't kill me, y'all, because I know how y'all like to come for people that ain't on the 50-50.
We just
especially you mean
open to check. Because baby, this conversation, I wish I would have recorded this conversation before we started giving her scenarios. Because it was no, she wasn't budging.
A large no.
It was a very hard no.
Hard.
Hell no.
No.
A hell of a hell no.
You know what I'm saying? But it's stuff behind that no too, y'all. Remember that. Y'all can't know everything. But they know everything. Y'all can't.
To your point though, just to the ladies, you should not settle.
Come on.
Stand on business. If that's what you want, those are the type of things that you have to manifest and you will receive. It's not like, now if you're a broke woman trying to ask for a rich man, you out of line.
Come on.
No, but if you are a goal-driven woman and you making money, you want a man that's gonna make just as much money as you, or just be just as driven to make the amount of money that you making, whatever that looks like for y'all. But I don't see nothing wrong with asking for what you can bring to the table, because at the end of the day, we are the table.
Facts.
Come on. Ooh,
we just want to add to it. So if you want to sit at my table, then you gotta really like bring
something. Bring
something that's gonna make.
Because a lot of stuff we bring as women, as caregivers, as lovers, we bring a lot outside of the financial part. Because a lot of men are not emotionally in tune. And sometimes you have to teach a man to be emotionally in tune with you. Therefore, we're bringing a lot to the table outside. Let's get out of this money. Women bring a lot to the table for men. Not saying men are not needed or wanted, but we bring a lot when it comes to different scenarios or different things. So we're just asking to keep us at peace by keeping us stable, so we can bring you that.
Ooh, y'all want a woman, give us some peace. Y'all want peace, give us peace.
Yeah, every woman piece is different, as you see.
To y'all point.
Go ahead. Let me see a little one.
What if, say you get married and your husband he's bringing you that peace that you need. He's giving you all the peace that you need. He's taking care of your household. And he wakes up 10 years later and say, I want that same peace that I gave you. I want to chill for a little bit.
What you mean, not working?
Maybe. What if he's in between careers? I'm 10 years into my career and I hate it. So what did I do? I left.
You switch careers, you right.
So and I did that. I'm single. I can do that. I can figure it out on my own. But if I was in a relationship, that would have been one conversation that I had to have with him. Mm-hmm. And if he loved me enough, he would have allowed me to do that. And be like, you know what, babe, I got it. You've been doing this. You've been holding it down. You got enough of your savings. You got your pension. We go A, B, C, and D. Mm-hmm. But what if it switches?
But I think that kind of to Kanisha, what she was saying, like he should already have a plan. Like as long as you were not saying that you were preparing for that moment to come, because you never really know what life would throw your way, or you know how your mind would change or whatever. I would be with it if he had a plan. So like, what is your plan? Like, what do you want to do? If I gotta, you know who I'm thinking about? You know who it reminds me of? It reminds me of Tabitha Brown. Tab,
yes, her husband,
because basically he was the
breadwinner
while she was pursuing her dream. Mm-hmm. And when she got to the point to where she got noticed, got famous, got all this, baby, you can go ahead and retire.
I want to do that. I ain't lying. I want to do that.
What? Y'all want kept men is what y'all saying?
No, I wouldn't mind. And as I get older, mm-hmm. I would not mind my husband being at home and being not Mr. Mom though, not Mr. Mom, but available enough to where we can actually co-parent. Because if the type of man that we're looking for in this moment, they're gonna have to go and work and mm-hmm. be gone a while. You know what I'm saying? They might have to spend extra hours in the office and things like that. But over time, having the man at home takes a little bit of the load off of you.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps at the same time build those relationships. I'm telling you, I don't mind it.
By that time, though, he should be well established to the point where he can do that and we'll still be financially okay.
If you have a man that's taking care of you, that has taken care of you for a long time, and like you said, allowed you to move how you want to move, pursue the dream that you want to pursue. Ain't no telling how many times or how much money they lost trying to help her pursue that dream. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like to an extent, as for my husband, I owe him that.
Yeah,
I owe him that.
I held you down whenever you.
I hold you. Over time, that people get resentful for things like that. They may not say it, mm-hmm. but over time, those things hit. Mm-hmm. I would definitely hold my man down to that extreme if I could do it. And I would want to work just as hard as him to make sure that I can provide him the same lifestyle that he provided me. In your old age, you live comfortable. Yeah, I get your retirement.
Yeah.
Heard that.
You ain't said nothing. It's the uneasy girl as you talking. She like,
I agree with y'all.
Baby, don't hop in my DMs unless you a doctor, lawyer. You willing to pay all the goddamn bills. Don't want to retire. Baby, she needs you to be.
No, what I'm saying is, I guess.
A housewife, or you just want a man in the club?
No, I don't think I want to be a housewife. That's not my
forte.
Want
two incomes are better.
Yeah, two incomes better than one. Definitely. I'm not saying I don't want to work or do nothing to provide or to help us. I think again, because we are like everybody say, it's up to the discretion of the relationship. Yeah. And I feel like within me, the discretion of the relationship, I just want a man that can provide and continue to provide and set us up for the future, that we're okay. But I'm also contributing to that. Now, as far as what y'all said with the kept man, I don't know, because, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. What I'm saying is a lot of times men feel inferior to women that actually do make more than them or are taking care of them. It's a battle with that, and I've seen it. There's a battle like, oh, I make more than you. I've seen how sometimes the roles can be. They feel if you say something to him, he'll feel like you trying to almost little kid him, because in his head, oh, she make more than me. So she just talking to me crazy because she thinks she, you know what I'm saying? Like I would prefer
my man make more money than me, because I would easily be able.
Exactly. So how are you gonna say I want a kept man when that's the way?
But to me, that type of when we say kept, I'm saying this is in their situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking care of her for so long. This is her saying thank you. Take a
Mm-hmm.
break.
Okay.
This is her
Okay.
saying relax. Do what you want to do. Pursue
Yeah.
Yeah.
something you want
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
play golf
yeah.
if you want to
Yeah.
play golf.
Yeah.
Like that's
Relax.
her, that's her
Yeah.
thank you to him. I wouldn't mind it. But
Mm-hmm.
in regards to like feeling inferior, I do feel like men feel inferior to women who make more money than them. I don't want to be that woman.
Yeah.
I ain't like, because I know I make me mad enough.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Mad enough.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to make more money. I don't want to make equal. I'm not saying you have to make. I live comfortable, and I'm not saying that I want to. That I'm just want less because I'm cool with. I don't require much. I live a nice lifestyle, and I want to be able to maintain that lifestyle with or without you, whatever that looks like. You can up and leave me today, and I still want to live comfortably the way that I've been living.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just don't want to make. I want you to make my money. We can decide how we're gonna split these bills and all that, but just make my money than me. Okay. Because I will easily be that woman.
At the beginning, when she was like, "What if he make less?" She don't want less neither.
No, but I feel like it's when you're in love versus when you get to a point where I still would like my man to make more money than me. Mm-hmm. But if for whatever reason it gets to a point where he doesn't, situationally, I'm here for it.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold you down. We gotta hold each other down.
I guess I don't did enough holding down in my 20s. They scarred me. It scarred me to the point where I don't want to hold nothing. I want to hold you down, but not in that like.
Yeah, not in that.
I'm gonna hold you down emotionally, physically, mentally,
not financially.
I
just want to be.
I got your back though.
No, I just want to be to a point where we can both enjoy life. That's my end goal. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we are all surviving. A lot of us are surviving right now. I don't want to survive. I want to live. So if that's what I'm saying, like, this is why I feel like two is better than one. Like, so if that means I got to take over for a little bit, then that's cool. If you taking over for a little bit or whatever, like, let's work together to create this lifestyle to where neither of us have to survive. We both really living. Like, we living. Okay. That's the end goal.
Okay, then, but this brings me to what y'all had to bring to light to me. How much are you taking over? Because again, when y'all said the 50-50, they could be doing the bills, but you're doing the kids, you're doing the groceries, you're doing the little knickknacks, you're doing all these things that could equal out almost to the bills. So you're saying also if they're down, you're gonna take home that too? Because you're already doing a bulk. If the way y'all broke it down,
I'm doing that. If it's for me, it's whatever works for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. It's not even it's situational every time. Because that's not to say like that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I could meet a man today who gonna come in and want to take care of me. Of course, I'm still gonna have my own income, my own thing going on to make sure that whatever. But like, I could meet a man today, and this conversation would be super irrelevant. I wouldn't even have to worry about that. But what I'm saying is, if you come to me with good intentions, got something going for yourself, I see that you a hustler, you gonna get up and go do it or whatever. And if a situation comes to the point where I gotta take over, I'm gonna do that for you.
But as long as they on that PlayStation game. Not doing that. You remember what we talked about? I'm sitting here saying I'm gonna hold you down while we're going through it, and you sitting here on the game on the couch.
If you're not making no money playing,
putting no job application.
That's it. That's over. That's the deal, bro. Like, you can't. That's what I was trying to make a point to at the beginning of the podcast. Like, don't think that means that this is your time to chill. No, baby. Where are you working?
Yeah.
I know you down right now, but
what you doing?
Get up every day and figure out what you're gonna do. Like,
hustle, job application. You going to job fairs, whatever you gotta do.
You quiet over there now.
I'm listening. I agree.
It's just,
but I agree. I don't know if hold it down looks so different to
everybody.
But I feel like a real man, real nigga, he's not. These type of conversations are going to be irrelevant.
Yes,
it's not going to apply to like a real man knows how to just kind of step in and take over, because that's what I would like my man to do.
Right,
come in and take over. How this household finna look?
Right,
and I'm gonna make sure it look however you want it to look. But with younger guys, not even younger guys. I ain't gonna say younger. Like, I want to say, what is it? Emotionally
immature
guys. you have to. We've been so used to those type of guys to the point where we feel like we got to teach them how to do those things. And it's certain things that you shouldn't have to teach them. Nobody taught us how to love. Over time, we learned. We may not have received it growing up, but we may have received it may have looked different to us growing up. But over time, you start to see the type of love that you want, the type of love that you want to give, and the type of love that you want to receive. We at an age now where I can't teach you.
Cool.
You can't raise a man. Shout out to Kay Michelle.
You can't raise a man.
You cannot raise a man, but I think that we unintentionally do that every time we get into a bullshit relationship.
Come on.
We jump into mommy mode. It's especially for me now that I've become a parent. It's been 11 years in the game, and dating has been the worst for me. But I feel like I jumped in and trying to, okay, well, I'm a single mother, so that's to me. For a while, that was a flaw to me. I felt like men looked at single women as like, right, let me see, she gonna have her house. She wants somebody to lay up.
She gonna have some food.
I always felt like that's what guys were looking for.
Yeah.
So I like tried to brace myself for that, and I met a different type of bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm just past that. It's just like you got to come in like a man for me.
So that brings me. Let's switch gears. It's still relationship type talk, but we are all, like as I mentioned before, single parents of one son. I want to hear from y'all because right now I'm in my selfish season. Right? And what that looks like for me is I'm really taking the time to learn who Kenya is, what Kenya wants, what Kenya will and will not accept, and practicing standing on those boundaries and not allowing anybody to come in and cross them because, well, I mean, he got potential, seeing the potential in somebody, or, all of that. And also just learning to, be comfortable with being alone. I take myself on solo dates now, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that I didn't do before because I felt like I had to always have someone in my company, you know what I mean? So I am definitely in my selfish season now to where like I'm figuring all that out, and I want to make sure life is just so situational and you just never really know what it's going to throw your way. So I'm not going to say like I'm not open to dating, but I want to make sure that I'm in a strong and healthy space to be able to stand on my standards and my boundaries before I allow somebody in. Like the other day I was at the gym, right? Like working out, doing my thing. That's my safe space, whatever. And this guy comes up to me. He's just like, what's your name? What's your sign? How many kids you got? I'm like, dang.
Out the blue.
He's like, yeah, I got a lot of questions for you. He gave me his number. I walked off. I said, that man will never see my phone number pop up on his phone. Like, sir, chill. Like, but yeah, so I'm in my selfish season. Where y'all at with it?
Okay. I'm selfish. I'm not consistently selfish.
So like, where are you in terms of dating?
I am trying to be like what you're doing now.
Okay.
I'm trying to. I really am. I'm trying to be consistent with it. My biggest issue is consistency. I say I'm on this journey, and then certain people make me break.
Yeah.
So but I'm holding strong right now because I do want something. I want a standard for myself that I'm steady saying that I have. So I gotta be consistent. Consistency in anything in life, you have to be consistent with the journey that you pick out for yourself. So right now I am trying to be selfish with me. Trying to get in a different career path. Like y'all have motivated me to do that. I'm at a good standpoint, but I just want more. And so in inquiring me, wanting more, I have to isolate and really focus on me.
Right.
And not the other stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to be selfish and be consistently selfish.
Well, if a man came into your life and let's just say, he came into your life, you met him, y'all, talking and whatever, and he's basically, I mean, I don't think any man checks off every list on our every box on our list. Period. There's no perfect person. You know what I mean? But if he possessed a lot of the qualities that you look for in a man, would you be open to just being like, okay, let me try this? Or do you feel like you still like where I am now? I want a date. I want a family. I know that's what I want, but I also know I'm not ready for that right now. So that's the thing. It's like, not allowing those distractions or those people who try to pop up out the woodworks come in and, you know what I'm saying, like throw me off my path. Like, I want this, but even if I were to meet a man today that probably could provide that for me, I don't think I would go for it right now. I just don't think that emotionally, mentally, like I'm ready to put myself out there. And that's something that I had to realize for myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, but if a man came to you and he possessed these qualities that you were looking for in a man, like, would you be open to saying like, okay, I'll try this out? Or do you think
Yeah,
you still
definitely.
okay?
Definitely. Definitely. That's what I want. I'm ready for that family. We're a little bit older too,
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
So therefore we're kind of looking for that plus what we're doing.
Yeah.
You probably just want to be focused on exactly on what you're trying to do. So yeah, I definitely would try that. But y'all know me too. I'm very closed off too.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll take a lot for me to just open up. And sometimes I may done had that potential and miss them because I'm so closed off. So that's my biggest thing too, is to not be closed off.
Yeah.
Even though I'm trying to be selfish with myself, but really I think our selfish is different than, because I think I'm trying to be selfish with my standards of what I'm willing to take on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not trying to be selfish like, oh, I'm just focused on me and my career. I'm more selfish like I'm trying to be selfish with the standard of what I want.
Yeah.
Like the things that I want. I'm not gonna just let anybody continue to try to give me what they just want to give me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mine. But
I think I've passed my selfish season. I'm in a space where because I've been so selfish in these last 10, I'm the poster child for the single woman.
yes.
I am the poster child. But the one thing that I pride myself on is like I do stand on business. I don't have to be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I date a lot of people. I done been in some situationships, but actual relationships where I call somebody my boyfriend, I've literally been in 3 relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I have great relationships with them to this day because I dated them. I made them my boyfriend when I was the best version of myself in that season.
Mm-hmm.
I can't give you more than what I have to give.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not a person who can continue to pour into somebody when I'm empty. When I'm empty, it fucks up the whole scene.
Yeah.
Like because my energy is off, everything is off, and I project.
Yeah.
So now everybody around me is upset because I'm upset.
Yeah.
And I can't be in a relationship like that. I can't. Yeah. So for me, these last 10 years when I've had Dallas is just me kind of focusing on what kind of mother am I going to be? I can't, and in order to be the best mother that I can be, I have to be the best version of myself for my son. Yeah. He don't need to see 20-year-old Angel. Yeah. Because she was turned up. Yeah. She was turned up. The 20-year-old Angel that I would like to have back is the vulnerability of, I was very, very vulnerable in my 20s. But in a good way. There's a sense of every woman, I don't care how old you are, you need to have a sense of vulnerability because it opens up those how you like, I'm just a little bit more guarded. I'm a little bit, when you're vulnerable, you're not guarded. You spilling yourself out to somebody, and what they do with it is on them. You just got to know that whoever you're spilling yourself out to is going to take that information and use it for good and not for evil. But I feel like the selfish stage is always important, regardless of what age you are. Because you mentioned like setting those boundaries. Yeah. Selfish people don't give a fuck about nobody. Yeah. But themselves. That's the boundary. Yeah. If I don't like it, I don't care if you understand it or not. This is how I feel. Yeah. And this is what I'm gonna stand on. And that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. And I feel like being selfish that's the biggest part about it. Yeah. Yeah. And I do feel like when you come out that season, you're going to be ready for that husband, that house, that lifestyle, whatever it is that you want, you're going to be ready for it because at the end of the day, you come to the table. Yeah. I mean, you are the table. Right. It's going to be men flocking at you because you glow different. When you really stepping in your purpose, you glow different. Yeah, and in order for you to step in your purpose, you got to have a moment of me. Mm-hmm. And that's not kill you the mother, not kill you the daughter, not kill you the friend, not kill you the girlfriend, the co-worker, none of that. Kill me. Yeah. Like you gotta have that for you. And that's where I'm at now. Yeah. That's what kind of once I got as I was in my selfish season, I got to the point where it's like, I want to go back to school. Yeah. Like I like smart men. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like I wanna continue to grow in my career. That way when I walk when you come to my table, I'm already it's gonna be
bringing
set.
You something. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be set.
I just feel like also though when you can also go back to what you were saying. If you come with a man that is offering the things that you need them to offer, that man to understand you being selfish with some things because they gonna need it. You know, a lot of men are, you know, in their heads a lot with things and with life also just the same way we are, and how they gonna get this and how they gonna grow and how they gonna accomplish this and how are they gonna take care of the household and how they gonna do that. So sometimes you have to give them that breathe to be selfish. I feel like if you find that man that can understand, like sometimes I'm gonna have the moments where I just it need to be about me. You're gonna have to give them that same courtesy. And I think, you know, you can still be in a relationship like that. You don't have to just be by yourself to be selfish. You can be a little bit selfish in a relationship as well, because the better version of you brings the better version of that relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like your kid. You can't be selfish with your kid. We 24/7 mamas. Our lives dang near revolve around them outside of the little time we get to do things that you want to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the same thing in a relationship. If you do find somebody that's meeting that, don't throw it away. That person should understand that I'm also being selfish in this season. So I may not be able to give you all the time to be up under you, but that gives you the opportunity to be selfish and focus on what you focusing on. And then we come together when we come together. Because also that's the same thing with a kid. You got to be on the schedule of your kid when you dating as well. So can you be on the schedule of me being selfish right now too? If you can understand that and we can grow with each other, I don't mind taking a little bit selfish out and it's in dating and being, you know, open with that person. So it is all in what you want to do in that moment. It's all situational.
Yeah, I agree.
It's all
I
situational.
agree. This wine started
So
making me a little hot.
I know. But I was gonna ask you that though. You're selfish to the point where you don't even want to talk or date anybody?
I'm not in a position right now that I feel like I can date because, you know, as you know, like I've recently came out of a situation to where I feel like it broke me down to the lowest of the lows.
Yeah.
I'm still navigating through that. So, and I think that's important. A lot of times as women, we don't take time to actually heal.
Right.
And I'm still in that healing process. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's the main thing. I don't want to jump out there and try to, like Angel was saying, like you have to, I can't give myself to somebody if I'm not giving myself to me already. Like I gotta figure out me first before I even can give anybody else anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fully, right.
And when you get to a point where you're starting to get to know you, your wants and your needs and your desires, they change.
Yeah.
So
as you get
getting
older,
into a relationship, what you may, I might say, I don't know. Like I want a man that makes six figures, and I might get a man that is a millionaire, beat my ass, and I'm gonna be like,
exactly.
Let me reevaluate.
Really just sat back and paid attention to it. It's deeper than, you know what I'm saying, just the physical.
Exactly.
So, and I think that's what it's selfish, being selfish, those type of things come with that too. Like the reason it's, I think with you is you saying, I don't want to be in a relationship because for me, it was, I got to the point where I didn't trust my thought process. Yes. I didn't trust my ability to make decisions because I came out of a effed up situation, what I thought was going to be a good relationship, and it ended up being this disaster. So I need to step back because where did I go wrong? How did I lose sight of what I wanted? In order to do that, you can't have no distractions.
Exactly. And then I also don't want to pour nothing on them. I don't want to bring nothing from that situation to them.
You have to get rid of that.
Exactly.
You have to take that baggage, decompress it.
Yeah.
Think about it, throw it away.
Yeah.
But that takes time, and it's easier said than done.
Exactly.
So it's more of that situation than your career part. Like you just selfishly being in your career is more about the situation.
It's all of it together because even in that situation, I found myself trying to love on him so much that I wasn't doing this. You know what I mean? I knew deep down I was writing stuff out like this is what I wanted to do, but I was so focused on trying to be this person that I felt like he needed me to be, or have him be the person that I wanted him to be, that I wasn't pouring into me too. And I think that's important when you're in a relationship, is making sure that you can separate like having your time to yourself and pouring into things that you want, and then like being able to balance that. Basically, I wasn't balancing it. I wasn't pouring into Kenya.
She was mad at me about saying something.
Certain stuff. I was like, you don't know. You don't know. What do you know? You know what I mean? But like Angel said, like it's really about like during this time, I have done a lot of self-reflecting, and I have done a lot of taking accountability and acknowledging my parts that I played in it too. And I think a lot of times as women,
That's hard.
we'd be like, he broke my heart and he did this
Mm-hmm.
and he did that. Well, you
Mm-hmm.
been knowing what he was doing and you
Yep.
kept taking him back. You been knowing, you know what I'm saying? You know what, you know what I'm saying? And that's not to say like that it justifies what they did or whatever because you decided to take them back. But as you got, when we gonna start taking accountability for the parts that we played? And that's where I'm at with it now. It's just like, okay, I get it. I can't put all the blame on you
Right.
because
At
I knew
all.
it.
I
Because the
think it's
thing is,
hard for us to
you
do
can't
accountability.
be mad at nobody for being exactly who they are.
I get y'all. I think my biggest issue is vulnerability. Like you said, I'm very closed off. Like I can flirt all day. I can, have my ones twos, but I am actually very much closed off when it comes to actually opening up and giving guys that vulnerability. And it may do have to do with the past that I haven't healed from completely. And it may be, we all bring things from previous relationships into our future. And so that makes sense to where you say, I need time to myself to not bring that into a situation. And I think that that's probably the journey I probably need to go on because I am not vulnerable when it comes to opening up. Like I say, y'all can. I don't. I really don't.
You know what's crazy with vulnerability? I'm trying to work through that because even in speaking to this past situation, I went into that situation like, you know what? I went into it with a different approach because I was actually like that before, like closed off, not really wanting to, just being nervous to share certain stuff or open up or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna go into this situation being. I think that's important too is knowing how vulnerable to be if that makes sense because I feel like I was super vulnerable
Too
to the point where
vulnerable.
like I showed so much vulnerability to where like some people would take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do
It's
you,
stages.
how do you like, how do you determine how vulnerable to be? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you
I
just
think
I
played
don't
it's
with
think you
me.
can, though, can you?
you can if you are in the right emotional state, one. And two, maybe really just how we don't stand on business.
Yeah.
Really be showing us who they are.
Yeah.
They from jump. If I go back and think about all the jacked up relationships or situations, this ships I done been in, it from girl week 1, week 2. I be looking back
Yeah.
like girl,
Red flag, and you would, yeah,
girl,
yeah, yeah.
and those are things that I just oh, I'm tripping. And we got to be able to trust ourselves and trust our thoughts because
And our
I
intuition.
always second guess my own thoughts. Like I'm the crazy one. I'm like, well, how you gonna make yourself crazy when you're thinking this because you've either seen it, you've either heard it,
Yeah.
or you just know. Sometimes
You
you
gotta
gotta
trust your intuition.
Yeah.
We
As
have
women,
to.
Baby, my
you have
intuition
to.
don't fail me. I
But
always be
mine
right.
neither.
I
It be
don't care what nobody.
some.
I'm right every time. It's exactly what I thought it was.
Sure is. Mine be on
And
point.
we instead of acting on it, we give them a chance.
We give them
We
a
want to give them
chance.
grace. You ain't gotta give them no
See
grace.
the
Ain't no
potential.
potential, ain't no grace to give. God gives grace. We say grace
Say it
over our
again.
food.
Hallelujah.
God,
I'm not
great.
giving another man no grace because you ain't gonna give me no grace. You're not gonna give me no grace. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but if I call myself your girlfriend, there are just certain things that I would try to learn to do.
Yeah.
If I know something about it, I'm never gonna do it intentionally.
Yeah, I'm
Or
willing
you
to
know what I'm saying? I'm
compromise.
just one of
Yeah.
those kind of people. And ain't nothing wrong with being vulnerable because some of the best relationships come from
That's
vulnerability.
true.
And I feel like you shouldn't dumb down who you are simply because another man might take advantage of. Because at the end of the day, what's meant to be will be. We gonna get hurt again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna experience a lot of things when it comes down to like love, but
And I think that's a lot of women. Well, my biggest problem with talk to the women that can't be vulnerable. I think that's the biggest thing blocking that hurt. Because, like you just said, being vulnerable can bring a lot of hurt. So a lot of us block that vulnerability because we do not want to experience that type of hurt again. Everybody trauma is different with that hurt, and I think that a lot of women, the trauma that we go through with relationships or situationships, it blocks the vulnerability because we don't want to feel that pain again. And I think that's like the biggest thing with women in trying to be vulnerable. Like, I don't want to hurt no more. I'll hurt him before he hurt me. I'll do something. Like, we gonna be I can tell we twinning in here. Like, quick, we twins. You feel like you finna hurt me, I'm finna hurt you too. We finna be twins in here. So I think not having that mentality by being okay to be vulnerable, and you might get hurt and be okay with the hurt. I think that's where a space that I have to get in. A lot of women probably that I know have to get in, being okay to be hurt.
We already know how I feel.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
that drag is not a good feeling.
It's like getting a flu shot. You know you don't like the way it feels, if it's gonna sting, but you know what to expect. So it's like at the end of the day, like I'm not at this age, I'm not afraid of to feel something that I've already felt. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it do.
I'm not like some certain things like being hurt. I'm technically I feel like I'm numb to that feeling. So I don't know that I can ever feel hurt no more. So even if it looks like hurt or it feels like it in the moment, it's not something that's gonna affect me any different than it did the last 2, 3, 4 times.
Okay.
That's just how I look at hurt.
Yeah.
So the only thing that can happen, when people be like, when you hit rock bottom, the only place to go is up. Like I already feel hurt. So at some point,
you gonna hit the top again.
See what the top of it looks like, what love looks like. Yeah. So I ain't necessarily scared to get hurt, but I don't jump into relationships either. Yeah. I can't be hurt by no man that ain't mine.
Come on. So,
Angel dropping gems, baby. We gonna have clips on clips on clips. They be like, she's speaking facts.
That don't make sense. You can't. I can't do nothing. I don't have dibs on no man that doesn't belong to me. Mm-hmm. You can't hurt my feelings. I'm like you. When it come to, if you're not my man, I'm like you. We twinning in here. Yeah. What you doing? What you on?
Because I'm on it 10 times, baby.
But if
you'll never know.
Nah. I've been hurt.
I feel that.
I done been in love. Yeah. I know what love feels like. Mm-hmm. I know what hurt feels like. So I'm either gonna feel one of the two. Yeah. But I can experience love as an adult, like in a different mindset, not as a young vulnerable girl. Like all of my boyfriends, I love them. Mm-hmm. I love them. Like I love y'all.
I ain't gonna say that now.
She took it too far.
I've only had 3 now.
Oh yeah.
I only had 3. I love all y'all. They all married. No, I don't want them. I don't want them. they're great men, but I still genuinely love them because they all got 3 different versions of me doing 3 different seasons, and those were seasons where I was able to give, and they gave to me. Like it was just genuine love. Now at the end of the day, if it don't work out, it don't work out. But it's not no black. It's not any bad blood. That's how genuine connections are supposed to
kind of end. Right, and I think because women don't have that, it causes that trauma and it causes that pain and it causes that I am not going back to that. Mm-hmm. But you've had a different experience than a lot of women have. A lot of relationships like that, it don't end like that. Where you is still in love, you end up hating the person that you was with.
They've done things that I probably should. Like I've never cheated, but I've always gotten cheated on. Mm. But I am a advocate for. Oh, they're gonna kick my ass.
An advocate for what?
I'm an advocate for respectful cheating.
Oh. Okay, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning. Angel, what is a respectful cheater? What is respectful cheating?
Especially when I was that young. Yeah, I feel like as long as you taking care of my household and like I should never know. As long as it don't come on my doorstep and I ain't gotta go. I'm never gonna go looking for anything. I'm not that woman. But as long as it don't come to my doorstep and there are no receipts, it didn't happen. That's just, and when I say come to my doorstep, I mean babies, receipts, diseases, whatever. It didn't happen. That's respectful cheating to me. If I'm not enough for you and you don't want to let me go, you need to make sure that this household never knows. That's just how I
listen. Okay, listen. What? Hold on. Give me a second.
I don't agree.
We gonna have to make this a part 2. We don't reach our 1 hour cap. I'm gonna have to cut it off right there, cause I
don't agree with the cut.
We gonna come back for round 2 on that, y'all. Literally, leave that in y'all minds, cause we not done discussing that. We are not, Angel. We not done discussing that. I can't wait to clip this.
What's the difference?
For real, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode because we gotta dive more deeper into that. That's different.
Baby, super different.
That was a little different for me. We're gonna dive into that on the next episode. I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions. Okay, I got some questions. But before I close out the episode, y'all, I want to introduce this segment that's going to be implemented in my episodes. Of course, we can't do it now because technically, although I've already had episode 1 of a Hell of a Podcast, we're going to consider this episode 1 of a Hell of a Podcast because the testimony episode is going to go on TWK, which is Testimonies with Kenya, and that's going to be its own separate thing. So at the end of each episode, we are going, I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but I want to make sure that y'all remain engaged. Like, I want to be engaged with my audience. So what I want to do, y'all ever been like questions that need answers? Like, people just have questions that we want answers to, other people's opinions and other people's perspectives on. So y'all, I want y'all, whenever y'all get a chance, to send me an email at hellofapodcast1@gmail.com. You can remain anonymous if you want to. You can include your name, your social if you want to. I will shout out whoever's email that we pulled during that episode, and me and my guests, we're going to read your question, read your story, react to it in whatever way, or answer the question if you're needing advice. And that's how we're going to stay engaged with y'all. So again, hellofapodcast1@gmail.com. Put y'all name in the subject line. Or if you want to be anonymous, you can say anonymous. If you don't want your man knowing you trying to ask a question about another man, that's your business. So, but yeah, again, that's the way that I am going to be engaged with my audience. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in to a Hell of a Podcast. Episode 1. Episode 1 with my girls. And make sure y'all join in again so we can continue to talk about a hell of a lot of shit. Bye, y'all.